Be ready. 5 seconds. Hobbies are pursuits of spare time. They are followed when people are free from their routine occupational work. Hobbies are for pleasure, recreation, and mental refreshment. Thus, a hobby is totally different from an occupation. An occupation is a source of income and sustenance. One earns one's bread and butter by following some trade or occupation. But hobbies are followed in spare time for their own sake. They are gainful but not in an economic sense. They are never a source of earning money. That is why what might be an occupation for you might be a hobby for me. You may be a professional football player, but I may play football just for pleasure alone and no other consideration. Hobbies are essential to keep us fit, refreshed, and relaxed. Hobbies provide a welcome change and relief from routine. Hobbies make our leisure fruitful, interesting, and pleasant. If there are no hobbies, half the charm of the world would have been destroyed. Remember, all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. Hobbies have great recreational value. They save us from boredom, dullness, and mischief. An empty mind is the devil's workshop. If we are not engaged in some pleasant stuff, we are likely to indulge in some sort of mischief. Hobbies provide us a valuable outlet to some of our creative and aesthetic urges. That is why they are so satisfying. In these days of tension, turmoil, hectic economic activities, and mad race for money, hobbies have become all the more significant. They can help us reduce tension, fatigue, and many ailments related to them. One is fortunate if one has a couple of hobbies to keep oneself delightfully busy in some useful pursuit. There is nothing like hobbies to relieve us from our day to day worries, tension, mental fatigue, and routine. Diversions are a psychological necessity. If there were no hobbies, our store of energy would be soon exhausted. We would become too old to work efficiently even in our young days. The blessings which hobbies bestow on us are too numerous to be counted here in the limited space. Hobbies are good for everybody, but they are a must for intellectuals and those who use their mental energies to earn their livelihood. After a day's hard work, a hobby is a welcome and refreshing change. It comes like a delightful shower after a long, sultry, and scorching summer. Really, hobbies are very much rewarding. If they are full of excitement, interest, and fascination. At least for a while, they take our mind off some vexing problem and provide valuable mental rest and peace. There is no compulsion of any kind in pursuing a hobby. You may proceed at your own pace and convenience. There is an endless variety in hobbies. All the world is yours to choose from. Gardening, reading, singing, playing on some musical instrument, collecting stamps, bird watching, keeping pets, collection of curios, photography, stargazing, chess playing, fishing, swimming, educating adults, collecting autographs of eminent persons, writing, etc., are some of the well known hobbies. You can add many more to the list. You are free to invent your own hobby. There is no restriction in it. Every hobby has its own peculiarities, charms, advantages, and pleasures. There are outdoor as well as indoor hobbies. You can choose any according to your taste, duration, liking of spare time, and the amount of money you can afford. You may choose gardening for your hobby. It is very interesting. You can have your own small garden full of fascinating plants, flowers, vegetables, and fruit trees. It is said we are nearer to God when we are in a garden. But you would be still nearer to God by being a gardener by hobby. The ennobling effect of flowers, plants, etc. can hardly be overemphasized. But for gardening as your hobby, you must have green fingers and also piece of vacant land for the purpose, or at least a suitable terrace or roof where you can have the plants and creepers in pots. These days, it is very difficult to possess a vacant piece of land. If you do, you are really fortunate. Blooming flowers, their colors, sweet smells, the green of the plants, the different shapes, sizes, and colors of fruits and vegetables growing on the plants soothe our nerves, restore our peace of mind, and give us a lot of creative satisfaction. You tend delicate young and growing plants with great love and care, as you would a young baby. It gives great pleasure to see plants grow gradually and then unfold all their floral beauty. Bonsai is very much in fashion these days, but to my mind it is nothing short of a cruelty. Is it not cruelty not to allow plants to grow and develop as they would do in normal conditions? Bonsai reminds me of ancient China, when little girls were shod in wooden shoes so that their feet could not grow into their usual and beautiful shape and size. It was a height of perversity in the name of fashion. Everybody has some spare time and leisure, however busy he or she might be. Now it depends on the person concerned how he or she utilizes that leisure time. Leisure can be devoted to some hobby to our great advantage. Hobbies make life fuller and more meaningful. They are meaningful and much desired escape from dull, drab, routine, matter of fact, money earning pursuits called occupations. You can have stamp collecting or philately as your leisure time occupation. It is also a very fascinating hobby. There is no end to the variety of stamps, and the story they tell is equally fascinating. But then, it is a costly hobby. You can exchange stamps with your friends, etc., or you can become a member of a philatelist club. Stamps tell many things about the country they belong to. They tell us about the culture, architecture, historical events and monuments, about the flora and fauna, great leaders and scientists, sportsmen and women, customs, traditions, festivals, and what not.